What's going on, people? Welcome to New York Giants Conversations. And today, we're getting in the New York Giants training camp. We're going to talk about Jaxson Dart and whether the Giants are trying to make Jaxson Dart a pocket quarterback. New York Giants OTA Standouts. We're going to see who's been doing what in training camp. All that much more. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy on Popular Opinion Sports and Big Pat Sports Talk. Hey, man, we're going to get into these Giants. And I just want to see, man, the buzz is out there, man, with the Giants. And some of it's good, some of it's not good. But controversy always follows this team. So we're going to talk about it, man. Beckham is back. I know a lot of people want to hear about that. We're going to get into that. We got little known Giants on the money or Outta Pocket, all that and much more. So please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, man. And hey, this is going to be a crazy year for the New York Giants. And the reason is because John Harbaugh's here, and now you got OBJ. Odell Beckham Jr. is back, and I don't know, man. Some people like it, some people don't. This is your morning show for New York Giants content, man. We're going to get into that. But before I do, Pat, what's going on, man? Talk to the people. All right.
A couple things going on with training camp, and a couple of receivers have been brought in to come up with for the injuries that we had with Elite Neighbors and Gunner. So we signed 3 receivers to come through. So a lot of things going on with the New York Giants, man. Got a couple of things that I think that they will do as far as defensive wise. They're saying this is a brand new team defensive wise already because of the things they've seen in the mini camps. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, man. We're going to get right into it, man. Like I said, please hit that like. Please hit the subscribe. Coming back, New York Giants Conversations. Let's go.
Welcome to Giants Convo.
All right, man. Back with New York Giants Conversations, man. So, I do want to kind of start with kind of some news and notes here with the Giants. So, the Giants released kicker Jaxson Dart. So the Jaxson Dart, the kicker, is out. And Giants are going to go with the rookie and the undrafted free agent Ben Sauls. So I'm going to go with, I think it's Dominic Zavada, I believe. They're going to go with him. And then they're going to go with Ben Sauls. So we will see. We will see how that plays out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how comfortable Giants fans feel like if you got to rely on a rookie kicker throughout the season. I mean, that is a conversation to be had. You know, a lot of people don't focus on the special teams thing. It's kind of the boring part of football, if you want to say that. But we do got to talk about special teams because guess what? We got a special teams coordinator as our head coach. And I do want y'all to keep that in mind. John Harbaugh is a former special teams coordinator. So when we looking at the roster and we talking about some of these competitions coming up here, I want y'all to keep in mind who the coach is, and that being John Harbaugh, and his background being a special teams coordinator. So, that being said, what are you guys' thoughts, and what is your thoughts, Pat, on the kicking competition as far as Jaxson Saunders being released? And by the way, he ends up with the Jets. So there's that. A lot of these guys like to stay in New York. So, but what are your thoughts on the kicking competition here? As we kind of we're going to get into the rest of the competitions here, but I just want to start off with that. Start off a little bit light here. Sunday morning, man. Like I said, get your coffee, get your bacon, egg, and cheese, and tap in, fellas, here on Giants Conversation. What's your thoughts on the release of the kicker?
It just opens up the competition for that undrafted rookie to be the kicker. It's going to be between him and Ben Sauls, and Ben Sauls has been having a rough camp so far, so the competition is wide open for those two guys. We're the guys from Michigan, so I think he's going to be the one that wins that competition. I think they like him, and that's why they signed him to a decent-sized deal as far as the kicker, to come in and be the kicker.
Right, man. But I do think trusting that rookie kicker is a little dicey situation, man. Coach, what's good, man? Peace and blessings to you too, my brother, man. Thanks for tapping in. Going on here early on Sunday morning. Shout out to you, man. Great show last night. Liberty getting a dub. Shout out to the Liberty, man. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting there as far as that kicking competition is concerned, because the way the Giants kickers been getting hurt, getting injured, falling down on the ground, looking crazy. Young ho. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust it, but we shall see. Now, moving on to some OTA standouts. And getting into Giants OTAs, OTA standouts. OTAs are going on right now. I think the mini camp is coming up in a couple of weeks as the Giants has wrapped up their 9th or 10th OTA. But some of the standouts I have here, one of them has been Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is, he's been doing his thing, not gonna lie. Calvin Austin has been doing his thing, and I think the whole thing with Jaxson Dart and the way he kind of clicked with Wan'Dale Robinson last year, I think having Calvin Austin, having that type of receiver in the slot is important. It's important for your quarterback. You know, a guy that can get open and you know, has got short area quickness, can attack the middle of the field. You've been saying it. Jaxson Dart likes to throw towards the middle of the field. And I think Calvin Austin has a good chance to make this roster. Because if it's between him, he already one guy is down, Gunner. So if you're thinking about between Austin and I guess it would be Darnell Mooney, maybe you can put Odell Beckham Jr. in there if they think he's going to play the slot. But I think this kid Austin's got the leg up on that competition right now. You got Barrios now, so you got to throw him in the mix. A guy who I was high on back in the day when he played for the Jets, and then you got Juju Smith-Schuster in there. So wide receiver wise, it's going to be a thick competition, but we're going to get more into the competition a little bit later. Let's focus on Calvin Austin, one of the top wide receiver standouts in training camp. What's your thoughts? What has impressed you so far, Pat, about Calvin Austin?
The way that he can be the quick passing game outlet for Jaxson Dart this year on quick screens, and the way they can get deep down the field. That's what they brought him in for, probably to be the punt return, especially since Gunnar Olszewski went down to injury. So they're going to be able to use him in the middle of the field. He's that little guy that you're not going to be paying attention to when you have to look at guys like Theo Johnson or Isaiah Likely or Malik Neighbors when he gets back. He's going to be that guy that can get that 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 on a quick out pass, or if you want to run a zone out or a zoom out, roll out and let Jaxson Dart roll out and hit him on a quick open pass, and maybe you can get that pass and break a tackle and make some things happen. Or he's that guy to take the top off the defense when you want to work the short passing game, the intermediate passing game, but you put him deep to make the defense honest. So that's what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I agree, man. And the thing that's also going to make him valuable is his punt return ability. So, again, what we've been saying about special teams, that's really kind of John Harbaugh's, go-to. So, I definitely think that gives him a good shot to make it. But another receiver, as you see up there on the screen, Malachi Fields. Malachi Fields has been doing his thing in training camp as well. And Malachi, a lot is going to be asked of Malachi Fields maybe in his rookie season. I hope it's not like this, and they did bring in receiver competition, but given the Giants' history of wide receivers staying healthy, I kind of feel like this kid's going to get on the field at some point pretty soon early on in his career. So far, so good, according to reports. He made a couple nice catches, nice long throws from Jaxson Dart, going down the field, showing his athleticism, showing his ability to go up and get the football. Again, these are in shorts, no pads, take it for what it's worth. But you do like to see, one, the chemistry with the quarterback and receiver, and two, these guys getting their route running down in some of these practices. And that's kind of what I look for, kind of the little things, So, again, so far so good for Malachi Fields. He is one of my other standouts in OTA so far. But what has impressed you so far with Fields here?
Impressed so far in Malachi Fields is, even though the pressure of him being traded up for in the 3rd round, he's showing that he has that big play capability. He's been making big plays in OT and minicamp so far. He's made a couple of huge gains and a couple of huge touchdowns, and he's showing that they can trust him as far as putting that ball on him and letting him go up there and jump over the defender. He's done that plenty of times during this camp already. So Malachi Fields, I do believe they're going to make it to where this could be a red shirt season for him, especially with the signing of Juju, Odell Beckham, and when Neighbors gets back. And you got Austin, you got Mooney, so he has a chance to sit and learn from a decent amount of receivers in there as far as getting his route running down. Odell Beckham and Juju and Malik Neighbors can teach him a whole lot to start off his career. So don't look for him to have a prominent role in this offense the very first year, because he has some receivers in his way, and I think John Harbaugh wants to develop this kid. Harbaugh wanted this kid. Joe Shane really got him, and he wants to develop this kid into being that possession receiver that I said that we've been needing for the past 4 or 5 years. So he's going to have a good redshirt season this year, and maybe you get a couple of touchdowns in the red zone, which would be cool. But don't expect him to be on the field and be the number 2 receiver right away. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I think that's why they've been bringing in so many receivers. They want to give their rookies an opportunity to sit. But again, I think he's going to be that dude, that big body receiver, because I don't see him keeping him and Isaiah Hodgins, another guy that's one, a taller, bigger body receiver. But I mean, he is going to be that guy. But I don't think it'll happen right away in the beginning of the season. I'm with you. I think mid to late part of the season, I think you're going to see Malachi Fields start to get some playing time. And he's proven that so far in camp. I mean, that's kind of the conversation we're having right now. So, yeah, I'm high on this kid. Hope he gets a shot, but I'm with you. Don't rush it. Give him a chance to sit, learn. Abdul Carter and Brian Burns have both stood out in camp. Again, this is not it's not pads. There's no pads or anything on. There's no hitting. So you got to take it for what it's worth. But these two pass rushers, man, and we can throw Arvell Reese, who has also stood out in camp so far. So you do have the pass rushers showing what the Giants are kind of thinking by having all these edge rushers out there. I'm excited to see that combination this year. And you still got Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, that's a luxury, but just having those two guys out there, man, to put fair and for offenses to have to account for, I think is going to be a key to the Giants' success on defense because, we all talk about stopping the run and how bad the Giants were last year, man, but the strength of the team is supposed to be those edge rushers. So it's a good sign seeing them get that work in OTA so far, man. But I know you're high on the defense and high on the linebackers, man. So what are you thinking so far as with the edge rush or how Brian was, particularly how Abdul Carter and Brian Burns look? And Abdul Carter was one of the guys you mentioned the other week as far as a potential breakout player. So what are your thoughts about how he's looked so far along with Brian Burns?
I believe they look good. They're going to be the two edge rushers going into this season. Thibodeau will come off the bench more than likely unless they see somebody like Alexander is not going to hold up at the 3-tech, and they may move Thibodeau to the 3-tech in certain situations. And I think Thibodeau's going to have a very good season as well because he's going to be put in so many spots to where he can actually be a factor while Abdul Carter and Brian Burns attack that edge. And then when it comes to third down situations, you may put Abdul Carter to blitz up the middle with a Alvaro Reese or maybe even a Jack Kelly to put some pressure on that quarterback. So we have many options and many ways to get after the quarterback this year with the people that we have, man. We have so many pass rushers on this team. It's ridiculous. So I think those two, I'll say this, I think they both get 10-plus sacks this year. Coming off that edge.
That'll be crazy.
10+ sacks this year.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Burns had what? 16 last year?
Yep, 16 and a half.
So who was the next guy after him on the Giants as far as sacks was concerned? I don't know. Who was it? Was it Abdul Carter?
Yeah, it had to be. It was Abdul Carter. I think he had like 5.5 because Thibodeau got hurt.
So yeah, if you give about 5 more of them sacks to Carter that Burns had, it'll be It'll be like a 10-10.
Carter had a couple of sacks that were taken back. One, because Brian Daboll accepted 2 penalties and 2 of his sacks. And then, he pretty much got Herbert twice, but Herbert just threw the ball to the ground twice that game. So he could have had about 10 sacks himself last year. So that's why I think these 2 guys together is going to have a hell of a season.
Okay. And kind of the other players I'm going to talk about is a group. And it's a very important group. And it's the DBs. The DBs have been balling out in training camp. Many OTAs so far. Drew Phillips has been making some plays. Banks made a play, I think, the other day in camp. Colton Hood got an interception. There he is, right on point. And a guy I can't stand, but I hope he can turn it around. That's Javon Hollins. Javon Hollins actually been making plays. He's been coming down on the blitzes. And he made a couple pass defense out there. That DB competition, yeah, we're gonna talk about the competition, man. But the DB room, period, them standing out so far, man, is a great sign, man. Because this is the one position that I have some concerns about when it comes to the Giants defense. What are your thoughts, man, on how the DBs looking so far, man? Colton Hood, man, you might have one in Colton Hood because he has been looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think we do got one in Colton Hood, and I do believe he's going to fight Greg Newsome for that starting position opposite of Pastor Debo. But a guy that I want to mention is actually Deonte Banks. They say he's been having a very good camp.
Yeah.
So, like I've been saying in the past couple of years, maybe it has been the coaching that has held some of these guys back. Maybe he's back in his element and playing man-to-man defense. Because that's what he was best at Maryland. You just turn him his rookie season when he was playing man-to-man with Wink, he was making plays. But then you turn into this zone and give up everything and bend but don't break shit. Now he's not in his element. He didn't teach me this. So, of course he will struggle. So hopefully he's got his head back into the game and maybe John Harbaugh can unlock something in it. He talked to Deonte Banks when he first got here. So if Deonte Banks turns it to something, that would be a huge.
Yeah, man.
That would be a huge hit. And maybe we got 2 young corners to go with without having to draft another corner and Colton Hood or Deonte Banks. So you never know. But Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland, their contracts are saying that, hey, they're not going to be here too much longer if they don't step up and make plays. So it's good to hear Javon Holland is out there making plays. And Pinnock is going to do what Pinnock does. He says Tyler Nubin is actually getting better. So we might actually have a good secondary. Who knows? We'll see. When the live bullets start to fly, when they start playing against other people, that's when you'll be able to tell how weak the secondary could be or how strong it could be this upcoming season.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's crazy, man, because the DBs have been a concern, but so far they've been the best position group in camp. So that's interesting to kind of see here. But yeah, are there any other standouts? Bobby Jamison Travis. I've been hearing he's been making some plays out there. That's going to be key. We're going to talk about the defensive tackles later on too, but Bobby Jamison Travis making plays out there. From that D tackle spot, of course, Roy Robinson Harris went down. Dexter Lawrence traded. The Giants have been adding defensive tackles, but this draft pick, this 6th round rookie, he might surprise some people. What's your thoughts on Bobby? What you think about him?
I think Bobby Jamison Travis is going to play a specific role for this team in his rookie year. Since the injury to Roy Robertson Harris. He's going to have to step up and be that nose tackle to come in and run stuff. So you'll see him on goal line situations, and sometimes you may see him on third and short situations to go in there to be that clog in the middle that we're going to need to stop those short running opportunities like 3rd and 1s and 3rd and inches. Maybe he could be that guy that could slip past that center and get in there and cause some havoc in his rookie season. I'm not going to ask him to do much. It's going to be a redshirt season for him too, and I think it's going to be a redshirt season for most of our rookies, to be honest with you. The top 3, yeah, Colton Hood, CC, and Avril Reese, yeah, they're going to get action. But the rest of our rookies, most of them probably won't see the field that much. I think Fields will come in and big situations to be that run blocking receiver that we're going to need, obvious run situations and red zone. Travis, run situations. Jack Kelly, you're going to see him on special teams. And Latham, he's going to be a backup lineman, whether they want him backup tackle or backup guard. And I think we got an opportunity to actually let our rookies sit and learn this season, which is tremendous compared to what we've been doing with people like our rookies. Didn't matter what round they're in, they have to come in and be starters. That's not the way you want your team to be ran.
Nah.
And so I think we're getting away from that.
Yeah, man. True that, man. We're going to talk about some of the competitions a little bit later, man. But let's hear from a couple players. A lot of people been wanting to hear. You got OBJ in the building right now, so everybody's psyched up about Odell Beckham Jr. being here, man. And I asked a question the other day on Heart of the City, kind of like, okay, cool. What can OBJ bring you this season? But let's hear from Beckham here and see what he has to say. All right. Play a couple clips here.
I used to be in here looking at these banners, and all I ever wanted to do for this place was win. Everybody knows you could write up however you want, but I never wanted to leave here. I just came from a school where if we lost on Saturday, my season was over with. So I hate losing. I hate it. And all I ever wanted to do was win. And that's all I want to do now. So it's just like everybody else who's practicing right now. Everybody wants to win the Super Bowl. We're not coming in here to good season and then get to your off season. We all want to win that Super Bowl. So that's the goal. But knowing it's a lot, it takes a lot to do that. I've been there before. So I'm just trying to be whatever I can for this team and be the best version of myself. I used to be in here looking at these banners.
All right. So you hear OBJ there saying, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. The goal is, and I thought that was interesting. Pat, because I think you're going to see veterans start to want to come here with John Harbaugh being here with the mindset that they can win. You're not coming to the Giants no more just to get a paycheck. This guy took a vet minimum. That shocked me. I damn sure wasn't thinking he was going to take a vet minimum. So he took a vet minimum to come here to the Giants with the expectation of winning. You heard him talk about winning a Super Bowl, saying he'd been to us. He won with the Rams, even though he got hurt in the Super Bowl. He still got help get them there. And I just think that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Within a year time, you got vets, and I know Beckham been here or whatever, but DJ Reader too. We're gonna hear from DJ Reader in a second. These guys talking about winning a Super Bowl. What do y'all think about that? Pat, chat, talk to me. It's Giants Conversation. Hit that like button.
I think it's exciting to know that veterans are actually wanting to come here to play with the New York Giants because they do believe they can win. You don't get people like Juju Smith-Schuster who can easily retire. He has a ring with the Chiefs. If nobody wanted to pick him up, he could have just laced him up. But he was like, you know what? I want to come play for John Harbaugh. Odell Beckham pretty much said it the whole time that he was going to sign with the New York Giants because of John Harbaugh. He told the Giants to hire Harbaugh in the interview earlier when he did with them. And I just think it's pretty cool. People like Tremaine Edmonds wanted to come to the New York Giants. You know, that's just going to bring more veterans in the future, which a veteran team is what John Harbaugh coaches. He always has a veteran team. There's not going to be too many young guys on his team unless they're superstars like a Lamar Jackson or somebody like that. That's where your Jaxson Darts and your Cam Scatterbows and your elite neighbors comes in. But I had an interview that I wanted to bring up with Odell Beckham, and this goes to where I was talking about the reason why Odell Beckham would have been a good pickup, even if he's not the player, nor is near the player that he once was. So I want to play this real quick. Let me share this real quick.
All right.
So this was Odell Beckham, and this is the way he was talking about how he used to talk to elite neighbors and telling them what's going on with New York.
I think I could be a great asset for him. You know, even when I wasn't here, I was hitting them up. I'm like, yo, no offense, but it's like, I know how they are. Like, I know how they're going to turn it and do it. I'm just telling you. And he comes from that school. We come from the same place. Like, we want to win that bad. Now, there's a way, you know, to do everything. And I think just with everybody else, like, everybody learns from their own ways and mistakes. Like, my son is going to have all the game in the world, right? But he's still going to grow up, and as an adult, he's going to make his own mistakes. And I'm going to be there to pick him up and, you know, maybe give some advice for the next time that he could carry it. But at the end of the day, he's a grown man. He's going to make his decisions. And I think when you go through an injury like that, it really, for a minute, it hardens you, but then it gives you a lot of experience. It gives you a lot of, you know, knowledge, and you get to learn a lot about yourself. So I think through this process, which has been a tough process, but I think he's going to come out on the other end better, and I can't wait to see him back on the field. Obviously, we know what kind of player he is, so however I could help him, anybody else, trust me, I know all the things to do, and I know the things not to do. So
that was Odell Beckham on talking to some elite neighbors about the Giants culture. And when he said them, he was talking about the New York Giants media. He talked to elite neighbors after he made that comment about Brian Daboll when he was DJ. He said it's not the quarterback. I don't know what it is, but it's not the quarterback. And that's when he was telling them, hey, listen, young fella, I've been there. And I went and expressed my feelings about how I'm not winning because we come from a winning culture with LSU. That's all it's about. And he was right. When they lost one game at LSU, their season was over. Because in college, if you lose one game, you can't get into the championship. Because the college playoff wasn't there when Odell Beckham was at LSU. So it was even more pressure on him when he was playing at LSU. So you got a guy that's been through injuries, went to the same school as him, has the same personality traits as him, and has been through the ringer with the New York Giants media, was traded away, sent him to hell with Cleveland. He had to shake back after injury in Cleveland, go to the Rams, actually win a Super Bowl, but he blew out his knee in the Super Bowl. Then he had to go to the Ravens, then he had to go to the Dolphins, and now he's back here. Maybe he's the guy to tell him, hey, look, kid, I don't want this for you. You don't want to be like me. And coming here at 33 years old and trying to get a second chance with the team that drafted you. I know what it's like to be misunderstood. I know it's like to have that fire in you and wanting to win. That's why I was saying I really actually wanted them to sign Odell Beckham for neighbors. And guess what? He can teach neighbors and he can teach Malachi Fields on getting off the break, getting off the line of scrimmage, teaching them how to run slant routes to make it look like another route. So no, he's not the same player that he once was. He won't never be that again. But he can be a valuable asset to the locker room. And he can literally show these guys what to do and what not to do. So that's why I had that interview ready. and wanted to show
Yeah,
that
man.
because that's the reason why they signed that kid. And he loves John Harbaugh. Harbaugh loves him. So you knew that marriage is gonna happen again.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, bro. OBJ back, man. I questioned it, but I do see what it's about. And remember, I told you that this was gonna happen once the injuries start to pile up, which they always tend to do for the New York Giants. So let's go to well, I'll save that clip, but I want to talk about Jaxson Dart here a little bit. So, and this is something you kind of brought up in our pre-production meeting about the Giants. Are they trying to change Jaxson Dart? Are they trying to keep him in the pocket more? Possibly change him into a pocket quarterback. So is the Giants changing Jaxson Dart's game? I will say this. Trying to keep him in the pocket will help him, having him under center more. But I do feel like they're making way too much about these injuries, these concussions, and as if it's kind of like as if they kind of want him to be a little bit of a pocket passer, but no, he's not really that. It's kind of the way I feel, because why else you keep bringing up this fucking concussion? It's like as if no quarterback. And man, have you watched David Carr play with Houston? Have you watched some of these quarterbacks play and some of these Daniel Jones shit? You watch some of these quarterbacks play and take hit after hit after hit after hit, stand in the pocket. So to me, I think the media is making too much of that. And it kind of smells a little fishy to me that they want to make him be more in the pocket, which might make him think a little more and make him a little bit slower reaction-wise. Because you don't want to take away that skill of, incentivizing, being able to make off-script plays. That's what they drafted him for. That's what makes him excited, and that's what makes him who he is. I don't know if the Giants are going to do that. I think the old regime would, but John Harbaugh's a different dude. He played with Lamar Jackson. Well, not play. I said play like he was on the field. Fuck, I'm talking about. But he coached Lamar Jackson and made a system around Lamar. So I don't think they're trying to change his game. I'm going to land the plane. I'm going to pass to you. I don't think they're trying to change his game. I think they're making an adjustment to his game. But you got to be careful about how much you turn down the volume. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's loud right now. Like I can turn the volume up on my mic. But I got to be careful about how much, because it might be too loud. Same thing with this situation. How much are you going to take away from Jaxson Dart to where it doesn't make him, he's not himself anymore? How much are you going to change his game? So yeah, kind of a yes and no for me. I think they are trying to change his game, and in a sense, I think they're not. But the fans may see it differently. How you see it, bro? How y'all see it in the chat room?
I see it as they're not going to change his game completely. What they're going to do is they're going to give him the opportunity to be more in the pocket. That's what I see. You're going to be running plays to where he's not going to have to be the superhero every time. And so if he doesn't have to be the superhero every time, and you have a scheme to where his receivers can get open and he can make open throws, yeah, he's going to be in the pocket a little bit more. So, yes, you do want your quarterback to be in the pocket a little bit more. But I'm not seeing it as them saying, no, we're going to make him a pocket quarterback. Now, that's a different thing. You see what I'm saying? That's a different story. every quarterback, you want your quarterback to be able to throw in a clean pocket all the time. And that's just what I'm thinking they're saying. We want to make it to where this kid doesn't have to be Josh Allen 2.0. You see what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson, when he runs, this is his decision to run. You see what I'm saying? If he feels that he can get more yardage than throwing a quick dump off with his legs, which happens most of the time because he's that good. That's why Lamar Jackson takes off. But how many hits do you see Lamar Jackson really take? Maybe one or two. And that's because he get hit right before he goes out of bounds, or maybe he's trying to make a play and he gets grabbed across the legs and you may get hit in his back. But most of the time, Lamar Jackson is out the pocket and he's running out of bounds or he's taking it to the house. So I think they're just trying to make it to where Jaxson Dart can be in the pocket and make good, sound quarterback throws. And those layered throws, like that's his bread and butter. Those layered throws over the middle of the field and those layered throws on those post routes and things as such. He knows how to get that ball up and then down. He does that very well. I saw that in his college tape. So I just think they want him to be able to throw from the pocket more and not have to be a superhero. That's just my opinion on it. But you can't change him. You can't make a guy like that a pocket quarterback. It's not going to happen. He's going to rebel and he's going to take off on purpose because that's just the player he is.
Yeah. You can't really take that away, like I said. But it's like I don't understand why the media makes such a huge deal about this dude running and making plays. Because Josh Allen do it, Drake May, like all these other quarterbacks. But like this dude is like, oh well, the main thing wrong with Jaxson Dart is he need to learn how to not get hit and he need to, not be out running around and being reckless. And it's like, I want this mofo to be reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him to die out there, but you gotta have some of that recklessness in him because that's what's gonna make him and make him be able to make those plays that other quarterbacks are scared to make. We talked about it a lot with Daniel Jones. What was the whole thing about Daniel Jones? Yeah, he hesitant, skittish. You know what I'm saying? Not, delayed reaction shit. You know what I'm saying? So thinking too much because of all the changes around him and all the chaos around him had him question his own ability. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to happen to Jaxson Dart. That's all I'm saying. Like, calm down on all the concussion stuff about this dude, how reckless he is and all that. Nah, keep that energy. Let's just put you in different situations, like you said, like Coach said, put him under center more. You know what I'm saying? Make him work on the play action more to where he's not exposed. That's what I want. I don't want you out there saying, hey, homeboy, you got to stay in the pocket or don't take off and run when the line breaks down, just slide or go out of bounds. Nah, try to get the fucking first down. We need it. You know what I'm saying? But again, play within reason, but I don't want to take that aggressiveness away from this dude either because that's what's going to make this team what it is because they're going to have to go out there, be aggressive, be tough, and be hard-nosed coming up in the NFC East. That's all I'm saying, man. People need to calm down with some of this Jaxson Dart stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't change it because if you try to change it, he's going to become skittish. And he's going to be thinking too much. Oh, I got to stay in the pocket and don't run because they don't want me to run. That's what's going to get him popped. That's what's going to get him hurt. When you second guess yourself, especially in football, that's when you get hurt. If you're not giving it 100%, that's when you get hurt. So let him do what he do and just make the scheme to where he doesn't have to be Superman. You see what I'm saying? And he'll get that more when he gets more age and gets more experience. He will learn more things because he already has pretty damn good pocket presence. To be honest with you, that's how he was able to get out of those situations. But I think he made this offensive line a lot better than what it was last year. And speaking of that, I want you to hear from an interview that I pulled up that I wanted to play. This is about Jermaine Illuminor talking about CC Malinova. So,
All right,
let's
let's
add
hear
that
it.
to the story real quick.
He just wants to learn. You know, he really wants to. He asks a bunch of questions. He's really might here watch film and ask me a question about this or a set, and here ask for my opinion. Be talking to Runyon, be talking to Schmidt, but he's also a really confident guy, also a really hard worker, and doesn't take BS from anyone. You know, a lot of the times when me and Burns are going at it and he's sliding out to him, he's not afraid to get in Burns' face or get in Abdul's face and let him know that we'll put pads on, or, you know, and it, like, if it was a game situation, he'd be right there waiting for him to like spin back inside so I could smack him. So, you know, it's like that young guy energy that you kind of feed off. So CC is a really hard working guy. He's a physical guy, and I think, you know, the sky's the limit for him. It's been a lot of fun. He just wants.
So that's one of your team leaders, your right tackle, light-skinned Jermaine, one of my favorite players on the team, because he changed a lot of things with that offensive line by him being signed that year. Shout out to Joe Shane. But CC Malinova is literally bringing what I thought he would bring, toughness. He's a rookie, but he's already getting in Brian Burns' face. He's already getting in Abdul Carter's face saying, look, you're going to get hands put on you when you come this way. And so when you have two dudes on that right side that's like that, that's why I like CC at guard and let Jermaine Illuminor stay at tackle, because now he got backup. Now we got somebody out there that could be a dog just like him out there and put hands on people and tell people, look, it's going to be a long day for you. I don't care who you are. Brian Burns, all-pro. I don't care. Who cares I'm a rookie? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put hands on you. And you're not getting to my quarterback. Those are the type of players that we need. And we need another CC Malinova on that left side.
Yeah.
Where John Runyon is. I like John Runyon. But I don't think he's going to fit the culture of what John Harbaugh wants this offense to be. And it's going to be a tough-nosed offensive line, tough-nosed running. And I just think this is going to be a tough team. Not saying John Runyon's not tough. I just don't think he fits the mold, and I don't think he fits the energy of the team. You see what I'm saying? You got Patrick Ricard. He knows the culture. CC Malinova, he's a dog. Illuminor, a dog. Andrew Thomas fits any culture. It's that left side with John Runyon, and can John Michael Smith up his game with his offensive line, which can allow Jaxson Dart to be in the pocket more. That's why I think they hit it too. But you got it.
Yeah, good point. I do think CC Malinova and Jermaine Illuminor on that right side. I just hope John Michael Smith can get it together, man. Because if you can have your inside rolling like that, especially in the run game, yeah, you're gonna beat a lot of teams, man. Because here's the thing about the NFL: a lot of teams, we always talk about one-dimensional. A lot of teams come into the game one-dimensional because they're either they're good in one aspect and they have deficiencies in one aspect. Meaning, you might be a good passing team, but you might struggle running the football effectively, or you might run the football effectively, but you might not be good. You might not have the quarterback to pass like that. If the Giants can do both, and that is key. The two keys right now for me for that long term is CC Malinova and John Michael Smith, because you want those two spots solidified. I feel like you can replace John Runyon at some point. But if you know you got Smith, Illuminor, and Smith, Illuminor, and CC, I think you good. I think at some point that left side you're gonna have to replace not Thomas right now, but there could be a situation where he might not be on the team in the future. So again, I'm just looking at it like this. Let's go into this. Let's leave this season making sure we got our center, right guard, right tackle of the future. You know what I'm saying? And I think having CC in there, it goes a long way to getting that solidified. All right. Let's talk about some training camp competitions here. Now we do have we do got some competitions, particularly at defensive tackle. And, you know, we kind of talked about the wide receivers earlier and the cornerbacks earlier. And the kicking competition. Let's start with the D tackles. You got Shelby Harris, DJ Reader, Darius Alexander. Those could be your starters. You still got Chauncey Golston, who they list as a DN now correctly. He wasn't an outside linebacker. Leaky Fontu, Sam Roberts, Josh Tapuo, and then, of course, Bobby Jamison Travis. First, let's start the conversation with this. How do you see, or how many defensive linemen, I'm going to say it right, no coaches watching, how many defensive linemen, meaning DNs, guys that play with their hands in the dirt, DNs, nose tackles, 3 techs, how many defensive linemen do you think they keep?
That's a good question. Because Harbaugh loves defensive linemen, like for sure. So I'm looking at this graphic here just to look at him. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So you got DJ Reader. I don't know why they got no chance on that. He's gone. Shelby Harris.
Go to our lads, bro. You use that site is better.
No, our lads. Okay.
Yeah, use their depth charts. It's updated, and they actually have the guys that are free agents and the guys that are injured. But yeah,
they say Robertson Harris can actually return this season, so I don't know if they're gonna put him on IR.
Yeah, he ain't coming back. A little state. Yeah,
I know these guys are gonna make it. Reader, Fotu, Jamison Travis, Alexander. I think Tupu makes it. Then you got, they putting Chauncey Golston at defensive tackle too.
Yeah, I got you.
You might have 6 people. You might have 6 defensive tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got Reader, Alexander, Shelby Harris. Fotu is making it. They like Sam Roberts. They like Tupu. Jamison Travis is going to make it. And then Chauncey Golston is here too. Then you got Roy Robertson Harris, who, golly, that's going to be a brawl.
Well, Harrison Robinson, I think, is going on IR.
Yeah, so take him off.
Yep. So
it's still going to be a brawl because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you got the undrafted rookies.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a brawl at the defensive tackle position, bro. I don't know who makes it. Besides Reader and Harris.
That's good.
What's going on, Vinny G? Besides Harris, Alexander, Reader, Fotu, and Travis, that's the 5 right there. Then you got Chauncey Golston, Tupu, Sam Roberts. Man, you got like 5 people fighting for 2 positions, bro. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think my man Golston might be on the outs, man. Now that I'm looking at this list, man, it's a lot of
see if they save money with his contract.
Yeah, we did him on it. Yeah, we did him on the little known Giants last week, but yeah, he might not make it because I'm thinking Harris, Reader, Alexander, like you said, definitely Fotu and Travis. So that's 5. So then you're looking at Golston, Roberts, and Josh Tapu.
Yep. And they like Anthony Barnes, Ben Barton, and Zach Pickens. Remember, they picked up Zach Pickens off waivers.
Yeah, because I'm thinking they keep 6 too. Because you're going to definitely keep these 5 right here. These 3, Fotu, and Travis. And you're going to put him on IR. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he don't. But then I'm thinking it's Roberts, Golston, and these cats. So out of them, I don't know, man. Oh, no.
Man, he'll keep 6 defensive tackles? Man, that would be crazy.
How many do you think they keep? 5? Because if they keep 5...
I'm thinking they keep
Golston ain't. Yeah, 6. That's what I'm saying. 6. So I think Golston. I think it's between Golston, Sam Roberts, Tapuo, and no undrafted free agent dudes, Barnes and Barton. It's gonna be between those for that. Bobby Jameson Travis is definitely making this roster, and that dude is actually good. So like, even though he's a 6th round rookie. And, you know, they paid Leaky Fontu and DJ and Harris and all them. They signed all them guys. So, you know, they're going to make it. Those are veterans. You need those veterans. Alexander, of course. He's your 3rd round pick. So, Golston, again, if you can save money by moving off of him, maybe he gets cut. Sam Roberts and Tapu, I don't know if you like any of these cats. I don't know, man. This is a good competition right here for that last defensive tackle spot, man. Let's focus on another position. Let's go to cornerback or defensive back. I'm gonna scroll down right here, trying to highlight these cats. Oh no, one too many. All right, cool. So right there, you got Adebo, Banks, Corey Black. I'm going to talk about Corey Black a little bit later. Newbin, Pinnock, Braid, Holland, Campbell, Lane. This Raheem Lane cat's been sticking around too a lot, man. Don't be surprised if he slides into the roster spot. Newsome, Colton Hood, Riku, Peyton. Then you got Phillips, Washington, and Nick Jones. Cornerbacks. How many cornerbacks? How many safeties? Let's start with the corners. How many corners you think make it? I'll say Adebo, 1. I'll say Newsome, 2. Hood, 3. I think Banks makes this team too, 4. So that 5th spot. Well, no, you got to put Phillips in there. That's 5. Derek Washington. That's 6.
Mm-hmm.
You think they keeping 7 corners?
Cornerback room, they're keeping Paulson, they're keeping Phillips, they're keeping Newsom, they're keeping Hood. You keep Banks. And I think they keep a Darius Washington because he can play safety and corner. So it's going to be up to Nick Jones, between Nick Jones, Lane, Braid, and Converse to see if they bring anything when it comes to special teams. Because you can win Harbaugh over if you playing some good special teams. That's what he does. So they're going to have to get their special teams game up. But I think Darius Washington will be playing the special teams. When it comes to corners, I think they keep at least 6. I can't see 7 corners if you keep it 6 defensive.
Right, exactly. You know I'm thinking you're gonna have to go light at one position. So it could be corners. Keep an eye out for these 2 guys. I'm gonna talk about Corey Black later, but Art Green too.
Yeah,
Art Green this guy too keeps popping up. Not Al Green, Art Green. It threw me off too. Art Green, man, keep your eye on him. And like I said, Corey Black. Now let's talk about the safeties. This is the more interesting position for me because you got Holland, Newbin, then you got Pinnock. Then you got Campbell, Braid, and Lane. So, like, safety's kind of skimpy. How many safeties you think they keep?
Those 4 right there.
Campbell, the 4, right?
Darius Washington can slide to safety. That's why I'm saying Bo Braid or Raheem Lane or Corey Black or Art. One of those dudes are gonna have to be a standout on special teams to make this team. Rico Payton, one of those, Nick Jones, and I think the guy's gonna be Art Green because he is the special teams guy. Look for Art Green to slide his way back onto this roster, man, because they can do it. They can go without Raheem Lane. They can go without. I know Bo Braid has a special place with hardball too, but I think Converse, Nick Jones, Rico Payton, Lane, and Corey Black, man, it's gonna be really hard for them to make this roster, which is I guess it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the team. Not such a great thing for them. Yeah, but we actually have depth. If you look at it, we actually have a little bit of depth. Not great depth, but it's depth.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about the DB room as I was. It's because I do think coaching in this situation is going to play a huge deal, man, and just kind of getting some of the tea leaves out of training camp. This is why we do this show for you guys, throughout the season, in the off season as well. It's to get an idea what this team is going to look like when they put the pads on in September. And I don't think the DBs are going to be like chump change like they were last year. You know what I'm saying? And I think the main thing that's going to change that is, like Harbaugh mentioned, the guys you got on the roster just playing better. Like they were ass last year, and by they, I mean Paulson Adebo, Deontay Banks, Javon Holland, Tyler Nubin, and yeah, Phillips played well, but that's it, man. They were ass. So you got mostly the same group coming back. You added Hood and Newsome. That's it. One's a rookie with potential, and one guy's a cast off. So, from a couple teams, a journeyman, as they say nowadays. So yeah. Shout out to you, Craig. Shout out to Vinny G, Alan Greenwood, Coach Ed, Iman Perry. Salute to the chat. Says, hey guys, we're getting close. Upgrade the linebackers better. O-line, Banks, aka turn your head, or you get them walking papers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those guys just got to play better. I think Deontay Banks can play better. I think he may surprise some people this year. I really do. This dude's a first round pick. I don't think he's ass. He just looks like a lost puppy out there when I watch him play. And a lot of times that's effort. You may be confused. Your confidence may be hurt, or you just may not be a fit for the scheme that they're trying to run. So here's an opportunity, like he said, Harbaugh, for a fresh start. But go ahead, Pat, man, chime in.
On the DBs, man, yeah. I think it's gonna go exactly where I think. Art Green's gonna slip in there and be the special teams ace. And if the other guys held on, I think it's going to be Bo Braid because he's already been with John Harbaugh. And he knows the system. Darius Washington's not going anywhere because he's the backup to Drew Phillips at the nickel corner. So, yeah.
Definitely, man. So, the last, unless you got something else, we want to talk about the big competition that everybody's talking about, and that's the wide receiver competition. You got this is tough right here, man. So we're looking at it right here. Neighbors, let's X him out for now because he's going to go. I truly believe this has not been reported, but I truly believe this kid's going to start the year on PUP. Physically unable to perform list. So that's going to open up a roster spot for somebody. So, you're our football aficionado. How many wide receivers you think they keep here?
With Malik Neighbors going on pup, I think 6. And then somebody drops to the practice squad when he gets back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Harbaugh wants to keep 6 receivers. He may keep 7 if he likes a couple of guys on special teams. But I think they keep 6 receivers because they're going to keep so many defensive linemen, bro. That's going to eat up some roster spots.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. Slayton, Calvin Austin, we talked about him earlier. This kid's making the roster. That's 2. Malachi Fields definitely making it. 3. I believe Darnell Mooney's in there. 4. So now you're looking at Juju, Beckham, Hodgins, Berrios, Hyatt, Bo Collins. I told you about Bo Collins. He's another standout in camp. And then these other practice squad type guys, Ryan Miller and Dylan Cambry. Cambry's been sticking around too, making plays.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the long shots definitely. The entire room gets depleted. So out of the last 2 spots, like I said, you said 6. So we're gonna go off your numbers. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Slayton, Austin, Mooney, Fields. Who makes it between Beckham, Smith-Schuster, Hodgins, Berrios, Hyatt, Collins? What do you think?
I think it's going to be Juju and Beckham. And they're going to put Braxton Berrios on the practice squad and Bo Collins on the practice squad. I think Jalen Hyatt gets cut. And the rest of those guys, maybe they can find their way to the practice squad. And then they're going to alter Juju and Beckham between the practice squads when Neighbors gets back. And more than likely, it'll probably be Juju going to the practice squad. Or they trade Slayton when he gets back.
Definitely could see a Slayton trade. Does Hyatt make it by default? No.
No.
I'm just going to put it politely. No, he's not. He's not making this roster. If he makes the roster, we're in trouble. With all these guys, with all these guys, ain't no miracle. But the Giants being down like 3 guys for him to make it. I'm putting Bo Collins and Hodgins over him.
Yep.
So again, he's on.
Campbell too.
Word. So you got a real long shot to make it, buddy. And it says watching OBJ and he doesn't look like he lost much of a step. No, gotta say it when the pads come on, but he can contribute because Beckham can run routes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good route runner. So you being a good route runner, you can stick around the NFL, man, as long as your legs hold up, man. Look at Sterling Shepard, man. He was balling over there, and we thought he was done.
Yeah,
he was balling in Tampa. So I'm not too worried about him, not being slow or just looking unproductive out there. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about his injury and what kind of role they're gonna have for him. If they thinking he coming here to be a number 1, I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'm with you on that though, man. I think I don't know, man. I like Berrios. But yeah, I think Juju probably makes it because they feel like Austin can be that punt returner.
Yeah.
And then you got Banks as your kick returner. So I think they good on those special teams if those guys hold up. So I do think Berrios' direct competition wouldn't be Smith-Schuster. It would be Calvin Austin. I think if Calvin Austin is healthy, I think he makes it over Berrios. What you think?
Mm-hmm. Me too. I think Calvin Austin is already on his team. To be honest with you, he brings a dual role. And you know John Harbaugh likes that little receiver that he can put in the middle of the field and get a ball.
Jaxson Dart likes that little. He's been feeding that guy, Calvin Austin, like he was Wandale Robinson last year,
basically. So me personally, I keep Juju over Braxton Berrios because Juju's a reliable receiver, bro, and he brings a toughness to that receiver. Like Juju is not easy to tackle when he gets the ball in his hand. You see what I'm saying? And I think Juju can actually be a pretty good part of this offense if they allow him to be. Like seriously. That big receiver going across the middle and he getting one-on-one coverage and not many people gonna be looking at him because of Theo Johnson and likely. Yeah, I think he can make a couple of those catches, turn those little 4-yard catches to first downs. So we'll see, man. But I think those are the six that's gonna make it. Berrios to the practice squad and Bo Collins to the practice squad, and maybe Cambry too because he brings a lot of special teams to the game too. Xavier Gibson, he fumbles too much. Jalen Hyatt, I don't know what he is.
A bomb.
Right. And Hodgins, that's his time. You know what I'm saying? The thrill is gone with Hodgins. I'd rather keep Bo Collins over Hodgins, in my opinion. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. That and the defensive tackle is gonna be tough, bro. And believe it or not, I don't even think Hyatt gets playing time in the preseason. That could be an unpopular opinion.
Bro. I mean, Hyatt, bro. Let's be honest, bro.
Try. Yeah, it's over.
I mean, that's really all I can say about it, man. Like, he's not good. He's not a good player. Any other competitions that you want to talk about, man, as we go into the mini camp coming up here, I think next week. So
yeah, it's just two competitions that I would say. That third middle linebacker, I think Captain Jack can push Michael McFadden a little bit in that area. We'll see. And the kicker competition, because we're gonna need a kicker.
Yeah.
We're going to need a kicker. That's going to be important. Whether it's Ben Stalls or whether it's Dominic
Zavada is how I think you pronounce it. It's Zavada.
Yeah.
Zavada. Yeah. Like Nevada Zavada.
We got to have some good kicking this year. I'm tired of having a kicker on IR every year and not having a kicker period in games. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. That is it's crazy. But yeah, so that's kind of the Giants training camp competition deal. I think having the depth on this team, you know, is key. And a lot of this is going to be, you know, it's going to be this defense, I think, has the potential of greatness. And we've been talking about the D-line, the corners, different positions like that, the edge rushers being the strength. Certain players playing better and elevating their game is going to help. But you being a football film guy, Pat, and you closely paying attention to the X's and O's, I know you got a big Pat's game plan, man, for this Giants defense. How can the Giants attack this year? And because I think the defense is going to be the one to set the tone. Until Neighbors gets back, until this offense gets, you know, until these receivers and Jaxson Dart get their chemistry right, till Scatterbo gets in rhythm, till the offensive line starts to gel with, CC being incorporated in there as a new piece. How does this defense scheme change, and how can they attack some of these teams that they're going to be going up against? Because let's be honest, bro. The Giants gave up a ton of rushing yards last year. The defense did not look good. Shane Bowen got fired. Charlie Bullen stepped in, did everything he could. He's back, by the way. Good old Chuck. So some people might be looking like, is Arvell Reese and Tremaine Edmonds signings enough? Some of the signings enough? Or is it more predicated on the type of scheme they're going to run and getting better productions out of some of your cornerbacks, some of your defensive linemen and edge rushers and so on and so forth? But big pass game plan, man. What you got for us, man? Tell us how the Giants can attack.
All right, we finna get into big pass game plan, man. I'm gonna show you guys how I think we should attack with the personnel that we have on big pass game plan. So let's get into it, man.
Big Pat's game plan. This week's key matchups.
So we are going to be talking about big pass game plan, man, here with the New York Giants defense going to be going, I believe, into what we call a 5-2. And what that means is, in the very beginning downs, when you're in your stack personnel, when you're not going against a 3-receiver wide receivers or 4 wide receivers, when you want to get your base personnel, I think it would be good for us to go into a 5-2 defense with Arvell Reese and Tremaine Edmonds at the 2 middle linebacker positions, and those 5 guys across that line, which will be Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, DJ Reader, and Shelby Harris. This actually lets you control every gap. It helps you stop the run, and it makes the team have to beat you. And you're going to start determining exactly what this offense is going to do. Facts, Craig. So, what was our weakest point last year? It was stopping the run. We were one of the worst defenses against the run. And it might not be the reason that you think. Everybody just wants to shoot at people like Dexter Lawrence, although he's not here on the team anymore. I don't think he was traded because he couldn't stop the run. He was traded because he just didn't want to be here. But we couldn't stop the run because of our linebackers. When you go turn on that film and you look at that Giants team last year, Bobby Okereke and whoever else they had out there next to him were not controlling the gaps at all. But now we got 2 monsters to control those gaps, and they can roam as freely as they want to in this 5-2 defense because we have 5 people along that line of scrimmage. And yes, both those DN positions do not have to be right across that line. You can slide them back a little bit. So just in case they want to try to do a pitch to the outside, or if they want to try to run a comeback or a counter. Now you have 2 good linebackers that can float sideline to sideline and hit each gap. Can hit the A gap if they need to hit the A gap. Can hit the C gap if they need to hit the C gap. And they can control the outside themselves. Because now we have the speed, we have the length, and we have the tenacity at that linebacker position to where when our defensive line holds up and that gap needs to be filled, that gap is going to be filled this season with the rookie linebacker, Arvell Reese, one of the rookies that I said is going to have to play. He's a number 5 pick, so you're going to have to expect him to play. And with our new linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, who loves playing against the run and who loves shooting the gap and who loves running sideline to sideline. Now, the only thing that could be against this is if you're playing a team like the Rams who can pass out of 12 personnel situations at any given time. Because now they can get somebody like Puka Nacua on Tremaine Edmonds, and that can be deadly to you with this 5-2. But if you have good safeties, they can come up and guard those slot people, and you can be, you won't be too outmanned. And I do believe Tremaine Edmonds and Alvaro Reese can play very good zone in this 5-2 defense. And then this is just your base defense. This is not when they line up in 5 receiver wide or line up in 11 personnel. No, you don't run this when they're doing that. But if they're lining up at the line of scrimmage, try to run a play action and one of those defensive ends get in there real fast. Try to run that play action if you want to. Try to run it straight at us right where DJ Reader is, and he's forcing you to go to the C gap when you're trying to get into the B gap, and let Alvaro Reese clean that up for him. So this is what I will want one of our base defenses to be. Not the supreme base defense, because the supreme base defense is going to be the 3-4. But when you line up in a 5-2, which is a version of the 3-4, believe it or not, this allows you to control the whole line of scrimmage, which we need to get that done. I think John Harbaugh is going to do that this season with this New York Giants defense coming up. So that's Big Pat's game plan for the personnel that we actually have with this defense, because since we're so long and so fast and so agile at the linebacker position now with Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Alvaro Reese, Tremaine Edmonds, all those guys are tall, long arms, can run sideline to sideline. The 5-2 allows us to control that line of scrimmage and control those gaps. And if we stop the run and get you in 3rd and long, good luck. Good luck this season with the New York Giants defense. So that's Big Pat's game plan on the base defense that I want to see incorporated with this team. And I know John Harbaugh has done it in the past.
Yeah, man, no doubt, bro. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see a lineup that can have Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Alvaro Reese, and Tremaine Edmonds on the field at the same time, bro. That's what this defense will allow you to do. Because a lot of people that don't know football, the Giants got Alvaro Reese and Kayvon Thibodeau and Brad. What they gonna do with all these addresses? You can't pay them all at the same time. Yeah, you can. He's fucking showing you how. That's why it was fucking with me, because I'm like, what y'all talking about, bro? All these dudes gonna be out there at the same time hunting. You can't put Kayvon Thibodeau and Burns and Carter and Reese out there at the same time? You don't know how to do that? Are y'all slow? That's why I'm glad you did this, because now you can clearly see with visual how this is going to work. So we have to play this game of the Giants got too many edge rushers, so they need to get rid of Thibodeau. They got too many edge rushers. What they take Alvaro Reese for? Shut up. They're going to all be out there.
Yep.
Playing a role.
That's why they didn't trade Thibodeau, because I think that's their plan.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, and that dude looks solid, bro. I mean, he wears these little arm braces. Looks like a fucking superhero out there, bro. Like, Thibodeau going ball out this shit. Y'all keep fucking with Thibodeau. It's about trading and this shit.
Yeah, but that was Big Pat's game plan this week on Giants Convo. Love doing those segments for you guys. And look up the 5-2 defenses and some of the positives, and there can be some negatives to it as well when it comes to coverage and when it comes to getting receivers. If you throw a quick screen, I think we got the talent to get out there with our linebackers and Alvaro Reese and Tremaine Edmonds to stop that. So that's why I'm not worried about throwing a quick screen through a receiver. We can get out there and get it. And then you got the athletic Abdul Carter and Brian Burns on the edge. That helps tremendously. And so all you need to do is have Carter or Burns hold the edge just a little bit, just to allow that linebacker to get over there and make the play. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a free-flowing defense that you see this year with the New York Giants. But not to keep you guys too long on this segment, man. This has been Big Pat's game plan, man. Get back to the show, baby.
Big Pat's game plan. This week's key matchups.
All right, man. Coming back with it, man. So, yeah, man. But that's over with, Iman. Like, Dexter Lawrence. And there's something that somebody brought up about Dexter Lawrence, too. And I think this is interesting since we are talking about the Giants. And, I like to kind of ponder a little bit with this off the field stuff, if you want to say, but Dexter Lawrence never and still hasn't. I've made a big deal about it. I don't give a shit for real, but I just think it's interesting to see the attitude that a certain player has towards the organization, fan base, whatever have you. Like, he's never came out and really said anything thanking the Giants or the organization or anything, as a lot of players seem to do when they get traded or and like, dude, you asked for the trade, so it's kind of like, it's not like somebody just came out and traded you and then you would be feeling salty like, man, motherfuckers traded me, bro. But you wanted out. They gave you your wish and you don't got nothing for them, nothing for the fans who bought your jerseys, or nothing for the people that actually supported you. I know New York is tough and a lot of fans are dickheads, let's be honest with you, but not everybody's like that. A lot of people did support you. I was one of them, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That supported you while you were here. So I just think it's interesting to see players take that type of attitude and instead of kind of separating things and keeping them in context, like, okay, you might be pissed off at the organization, you might not like some of the fans and some of the things you got, but that doesn't mean you have to take that approach towards everybody in New York or everybody in this area. And that is kind of like, yeah, I'm glad you ain't here no more, dude. But
Yeah,
all right.
It's part of the issue. It's part of the problem. If you don't want to be here, that's part of the problem. You got to get rid of it. And we got a CC in the time, so yeah.
Facts, and I much rather have CC here. So that being said, let's get into little known Giants, man. I got a little something for y'all here with little known Giants. I want to talk about a player that we mentioned here a little bit ago, but going to shed a little bit of light on a little known Giant. So let's get it cracking.
Little known Giants.
All right, man. So, today on Little Known Giants, we're gonna get into Giants cornerback Corey Black. Corey Black. Remember, we talked about those cornerback spots on the back end of that roster. Now, Corey Black is a draft pick. That's why he's on my feature today for Little Known Giants. A New York Giants draft pick on the roster bubble. Now, 7th round pick, 246 overall. You see it down there. Out of Oklahoma State. Black played in 11 games last year. He spent time on the Jets and Giants practice squads. Came out with 18 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. So 1 pass defense. Didn't do a whole lot. But we talking about this roster competition, right? Where Black is in competition for maybe that 6th spot. We're talking about Art Green, Raheem Lane, and Converse, Rico Payton, Nick Jones. Corey Black, man, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Like I said, he didn't show a lot, but what are we talking about? New coaching. You got a draft pick on the roster here. You felt good enough to use a pick on him from Oklahoma State. Can he give you something on special teams? Can he make this roster as a back-end cornerback / special teamer? Or is he going to get pushed off the roster by somebody like Art Green, Corey Black, a draft pick you might not know about, fighting for a roster spot? We talked about the cornerbacks and the safeties and everything like that. So he has some competition. But I think he has a shot. You don't have a lot of depth back there on the back end of that corner. We talking about the first couple spots. You know, Newsome, Colton Hood, Banks, Adebo. After that, man, it's any man's guess. So, you know, I know you said Darius Washington, but can Black get in there? Will they keep an extra corner or extra safety? You know, can you put Washington as the safety, and maybe can Black play nickel? Can he play outside? So this is a guy to pay attention to in training camp, because he is a draft pick, and if he makes this roster and gives you some type of production, or they can get him coached up, and that's another draft pick that you got something out of. Mm-hmm. If he gets cut, maybe that's another mark. I know y'all like to keep track of this, that you could put on Joe Shane as a failed draft pick.
Oh, yeah. Failed 7th round draft pick. Man, that's
you know how they go, bro. Yeah, you know how this
Man, you can't get a 7th rounder to be a Hall of Famer, man. You trash.
Yeah, this fan base is, man. But you look at his college stats, man. This kid, he's got some potential. So, but I think Corey Black's a name to know about. He's been making plays in camp so far. So he had to start a couple games last year. The Giants were so down bad at corner. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying look at him as somebody that they might can come in there, coach him up, and maybe he can make the back end. Because you know they're going to value their draft picks over an undrafted or free agent type. If your draft pick is any good, if he can actually cut it. But so far in camp, it hasn't looked bad from everything we're hearing. When we can put our eyes on training camp, we can give you more of an observation. But right now, we just got to go on with what the media's giving us. So, you know. But what's your thoughts on Corey Black, man? This little known Giants cornerback, man, we got up here on our feature today.
I like the music choice, because he's definitely got an uphill battle to make this roster. Unfortunately, this ain't Passenger 57 where he says always bet on Black.
Right.
So, I think somebody like a Darius Washington and somebody like Art Green will get those spots before him. But you never know. Corey Black might come out and he might shut some people down on that second team or that third team. And he might show that he has special teams capability as well. And that could nullify somebody like an Art Green, because he was a draft pick. And I think he does have some coverage skills. So he's really going to have to show him in the preseason and in training camp, maybe to get to the preseason, to be honest with you. You know, he could be part of that cut down. A little bit of cut down had to make in the preseason. So we'll see with Mr. Corey Black. Didn't like what he did last year when he had his chances, but you didn't like what any of the people in the secondary did last year when they played on the field under Shane Barnes. So we'll see, man. But he definitely has an uphill climb, but I'm rooting for him, man. He's a draft pick. And we all know if he doesn't work out, like you said, Joe Shane sucks. He can't make draft picks. He missed on the 7th round. So we'll see, Mr. Corey Black, man. We're rooting for you here on Giants Convo, man. Maybe we'll be able to get an interview with you and let us know your journey.
I'm going to be honest with you. every play I've talked about in this little known Giants since I've been doing it is, Bo Collins, he been making plays.
Yeah.
We talked about Chauncey Golston last week, and now look, he got a chance to make the roster.
Yeah.
Corey Black, let's see what he do. You know, and I also mentioned the wide receiver coach, man. These wide receivers, man, look how many receivers they bringing in now.
Yeah, you got to see if that's a good thing or it's a bad thing. I think it's a very good thing, and I think this is my unpopular opinion. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a part of this offense, bro. If they smart and let him play, just let him play. Let him be that guy over the middle of the field that will get those tough yards for you. And Odell, he can hold down the outside till Malik Neighbors gets back. When it comes to being a second guy, he probably the first. Who's going to be the first guy now that Malik Neighbors is down? So I think it's going to be a veteran-driven offense until Malik Neighbors gets back. I think you're going to see those old men on that field, Beckham and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Beckham, Schuster, and Austin. I think that's what you see. I think you're going to mix in Mooney and Slayton as a deep threat, and I think that's how they're going to run their offense, man. You know, Jaxson Dart's going to have his little guy, Austin, to throw in the middle of the field to, and his tight ends as well. But when he has to go to the outside, I think you're going to see Schuster, Beckham, and guys like Darnell Mooney and Slayton out there. That's how I think the passing offense is going to go down. I'm right with you there. But all right, let's switch gears, man. We're going to get into NFC East. Let's check out what is going on inside the NFC East, man. So we're going to get right into it here in just a second. All right.
Giants, Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles. Welcome to Inside the NFC East.
All right, man. Inside the NFC East, man. Let's take a look at what we got here, man. So cool. We could start with the Dallas Cowboys, man. And Dallas Cowboys, George Pickens isn't with the Cowboys for OTAs. No kind of surprise there, as he's still looking to get his I guess they still trying to bring him back. But Cowboys getting OTA started. Deron Bland and what's his dude's name? Eric. How do you pronounce this dude's name? It is Izuruku. Donovan is Izuruku. So those guys, they're getting ramped up. They're coming back from injuries. So Izuruku underwent surgery to repair a torn labrum in his hip. Oh. So not good.
That's not ideal
for him. And the Bland was derailed by a foot injury. So the Cowboys, man, they're gonna have to monitor that, the injuries on their defense, because that's the main thing right now with them. Improving on defense and getting better there. Got Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark in there, getting used to the new scheme of Christian Parker, new Cowboys defensive coordinator. So you got some moving parts on defense. That's a lot of where the talk is with the Cowboys. They also signed edge rusher Malachi Lawrence, 23rd pick in the draft, 4 years, $20 million, fully guaranteed. So, but yeah, any thoughts on the Cowboys and their defense? Like I said, nursing a couple injured players and also getting used to a new scheme is the main thing coming out of Cowboys camp.
Yeah, they're going to get used to that new scheme. You got Malachi Lawrence, you drafted 23rd. You got Caleb Downs that you drafted at, I believe, 11. You got two new heavy hitters as young guys, and that whole defensive line has been revamped. So that defense can get rolling. The Cowboys are going to be dangerous, but you got Deron Bland and Izaraku, your main edge rusher, opposite of who's the other edge rusher they got? Rashawn Gary.
They got Rashawn Gary.
Yeah. So he was supposed to be the guy opposite of Rashawn Gary. So Lawrence is probably going to have to step up a little bit sooner than expected. Well, at least during training camp. We'll see what happens with Izaraku during the season. But this Cowboy team, man, they're trying to get back to being America's team, man. They did a lot for that defense. And you know what the offense brings. They're always going to put up points. So we're going to see. I think we can compete with those guys, and I think we are going to compete with those guys. And so we're definitely going to have to be able to stop that passing game, man, with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Turpin and all those guys that they got out there. But if we can pressure Dak, we good. But the Cowboys, I think they're going to be a good team this year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's it's kind of that it's not good news for the Giants, man. Like that Cowboys team is that defense is right. Yeah, it's like I'm doing these subjects for y'all, man, just to let you know who your real competition gonna be, especially in this division. All right. Next up, we got the Eagles. Yeah, it's AJ Brown. That is what we're talking about with the Eagles. That's the main thing right here now. AJ Brown is gone. We know it now. No speculation. Mm-hmm. Now we can actually look at this Eagles team for what they are going to be this season. And it's going to be a lot on Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot on Jalen Hurts, Pat, man. And they're going to ask this dude to really, really throw into the middle of the field. So Eagles did sign a couple guys, Zion Wilson, inside defensive lineman. And Elijah Mitchell, and Sam Torrey, wide receiver. So, couple guys they signed on the back end, but hey, man, it's going to be on Jalen Hurts, man. That's the big news here with the Philadelphia Eagles. Can Jalen Hurts lead this offense without what's my man AJ Brown? You know, and that's the thing, you know. So we're gonna see, man. But what's your thoughts?
We're gonna see how much AJ Brown really meant to this Eagles team, man. Is Devontae Smith gonna be the same receiver without AJ Brown out there on the field? Now that he's gonna be getting some of those double coverages. Can Mekhi Lemon make up for what AJ Brown they're losing to AJ Brown? I don't believe so, because I believe Mekhi Lemon is going to have to be used in the middle of the field. See what I'm saying? He's not just going to be able to just throw the Makai Lemon on the outside and just say, big guy, go get it. Even though he's shown that he can go up and get the ball, but it's not going to be as easy for him as it was A.J. Brown. See, A.J. Brown, you feared A.J. Brown. Him getting off the line of scrimmage with that big frame and pushing you off, you feared him, and he can route you up in the middle of the field. So we're going to see with the rookie Makai Lemon. Who we going to see, man?
You want to hear their receiver core now, Pat? I'll give it to you right now. Datavian Wicks on one side, Devontae Smith on the other side. Those are your left and right wide receivers. Makai Lemon in the slot. You got Johnny Wilson backing him up, Darius Cooper, Hollywood Brown, Danny Gray, Elijah Moore, and Britton Covey.
Yeah. You got to get big in the middle of the field because Dontavian Wicks, he's decent, but he's not an AJ Brown type receiver. You have to get him open in the middle of the field. So same thing with Makai Lemon. Now, Devontae Smith was doing it because he was always in one-on-one coverage, but now that he's going to be getting more eyes on him, he's going to have to do more things out there on the field. So he step up to be a true number one receiver. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be a lot of pressure on him, bro, to make plays out there, man. Because Makai Lemon, rookie wide receivers tend to do well in the NFL if they're any good. So I think he'll give you something. But again, he's still a rookie, still got to learn the scheme. You still got to go up against NFL caliber cornerbacks in the slot. Devontae Smith and then Datavian Wicks, they don't have much else after that though, and I think their depth took a hit, and I think you're going to be asking a lot of Jalen Hurts to make that happen. Everybody swear up and down he's a great quarterback, and he was in the Super Bowl, so he can make it work and all this and all that. All right, we'll see. But it's going to be a challenge because you don't have that X factor on the outside that teams have to worry about. So they're going to kill. It's going to be a lot of tight ass windows, Hurts, for you to throw into.
You're going to have to make some big time throws this year.
Yeah, man. Because I don't think you're going to just be able to, launch it up there. And
like he has been.
Yeah, Devontae Smith, you're going to see a lot more double teams than you have been in the past. So again, I think that dude is a number one, but like I said, what else you got after that? Datavian Wicks, we'll see what he does. You got Hollywood Brown, but that's it. They don't have a lot. You're going to ask a lot of now that tight end. They got Eli Stowers and then Dallas Goedert. That's where I think a lot is going to come from with the Eagles.
Have a big year.
Yeah.
Going to have one.
So, all right. And now with the Commanders here, it's all about Jaden Daniels here. It's all about Jaden Daniels. Luke McCaffrey, Traylon Burks, those guys have been making plays in OTAs so far for the Commanders. Of course, we talked about Jaden Daniels and his hope he can bounce back from the injury, but Chig Okonkwo, also a guy out there making plays in ATOs, and the Commanders are high on this kid, Katron Allen, the running back
from Penn State.
Yeah, so he's been out there. They're giving him an opportunity, of course, to do his thing and getting a good look at him, because you got Karlsky Merritt, Ricard White, and then this Katron Allen kid. And of course, you got Chig Okonkwo, John Bates, and Ben Sinnott as your tight ends. So the Commanders are going to have to run the ball. They're going to be, again, I talked about the center position and some of their offensive line concerns, but Jaden Daniels can make plays, and if these wide receivers can give them something, You know, we know what you're getting from Scary Terry, but the focus here, like I mentioned, is on Traylon Burks and Luke McCaffrey, because one of those dudes are going to have to be that second receiver. And then you're going to have Antonio Williams in the slot to round out your group. So that's what the buzz is at Commanders camp, man. But any thoughts on what they got going on?
I just think they're going to struggle this year, man. Maybe they get Brandon Ayuk in a trade. I don't know.
He's wearing Commanders gear. That's something else I could bring up, but I mean, we got to see it when it happens, just like with the AJ Brown thing. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Looking at these receiver rooms with the Eagles and Commanders, I think the Giants might have an edge in those two spots, yo. Now the Cowboys with Pickens and that's a different ballgame.
B, C, D, Lamb. You know what I'm saying? So I just think this Commanders team is going to struggle, and their schedule is brutal. Like, how in the world did they get a schedule that brutal?
I know, and you finished third in the division. That's crazy. You would have think you would have got a worse. You would have think you would have got an easier schedule than the Giants. How did Giants get an easier schedule and you get a harder schedule? The Giants finished worse than you.
I don't know, but their first 11 games were brutal.
Yeah, man. They got dick on that one.
Team we had. Yeah. The Giants were the easiest team they had in that 11-game stretch, man. So
ain't gonna be no cakewalk no more. So
get your chest out, ready. Hopefully you can make it out this season, healthy. Mm-hmm. But I just don't see it with this Commanders team, man. And maybe if and you don't even know if Brandon Ayuk is even ready to play football, man. That dude's kind of weird. So,
look, he's good, but I mean, we got bigger problems than Brandon Ayuk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the Commanders should have bigger problems than Brandon Ayuk, and their biggest problem should be making sure that quarterbacks stay healthy, so they can actually have a punching chance out there. Because if he's hurt, you're fucking done.
He saw that last year.
You know what I'm saying? He's hurt, you're done. And you got Mariota. We seen what he did, and then you got Calic McManus, cat out of Rutgers. You know, and he's a rookie, you know, so it ain't looking too good as far as backups is concerned either. So if you go down, that's one thing I can say about the Giants. If something did happen to Dart, you're not dead in the water with Jameis Winston out there, bro.
At the very least, for the exciting football.
Yeah, he at least gonna keep you in the game. Might win you the game, you know what I'm saying? But so, but that is inside the NFC East, man, and we'll come back and see what's going on next week.
Giants, Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles. Welcome to Inside the NFC East.
All right, man. So we're going to wrap this up with on the money or out of pocket. So let's get that rolling real quick.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket.
All right, man. So on the money or out of pocket, man, this week we got some NFL stuff to talk about. Bad ratings are out. Caleb Williams is on the cover. He's not happy about him's rating. So let's take a listen at what Caleb Williams had to say about his Madden rating. All right, let's get it pulled up here.
They did give us the ratings. Do you want to hear your rating, or do you want to leave it off? All right.
Let's hear it.
We have Travis, your rating, 91.
Still
91.
Still got it. Still got it, baby. Still in the 90s. Let's go, baby.
Caleb, I got to say, this feels low for somebody on the cover.
Yep, hopefully.
But still a very high rating.
Okay.
90.
Okay. I can, end of the year, be 99. It's all right.
There you go.
They keep getting better. They keep
update those rosters. Got to keep updating those rosters.
You got to update them.
They did give us the ratings.
Okay,
do you want to hear your rating? Or
Caleb Williams not happy about a 90 rating. Says by the end of the year, it'll be 99. Travis Kelce pleased with his 91 rating. Yeah, 91. Okay. But anyway, on the money out of pocket, man, Caleb Williams here, man, talking about 99 rated.
He out of pocket for saying 99 rated. You lucky to have that 90 rating, bro, because of the teams you played last year, and there was a bunch of that stuff that they was letting you get at the end of this game, onside kicks and all crazy stuff. You're going to see this year, especially with the Vikings, if Kyler Murray is the quarterback that they need, you're going to see.
Yeah, man.
And shoot, they ain't even in Chicago no more. They get ready to move to Hammond, Indiana. The stadium is going to be there. Hammond, Indiana. That's going to be crazy work. It's going to be in Hammond. And they had a for giving Kelce a 91. That dude didn't do nothing last year.
Right, that's what I was like. I think that's more out of pocket than what Caleb said. Like, 91, talking about still got it. You ain't got shit.
Man, 82. Out of here.
Word up, man. All right, staying with the Bears, man. Yeah, I'm gonna pick on the NFC North this week. Staying with the Bears, man. We got Bears. Ben Johnson going off on reporters, man. Ben Johnson, a little snappy, man. Let's take a listen.
Page, we're speaking the same language, and that's always a good starting point. Oh my. Good.
Now that you've got a year under your belt, how does it feel? How do you feel about your position, what you're doing, people you're working?
Somebody want to take their phone, so I'm not interrupted again. Thanks. We're speaking the same.
So Ben Johnson, man, with the phone going off during the damn press conference, like. I don't know, man. Normally they tell you to put the phone on silent. He telling them to silence his fucking phone. Like, what is going on here in Chicago, man?
Oh, that was his phone that did that.
Right. He gave it. He said, cut it off. Why you ain't cut it off, bro? Why was the phone on in the first place when you at the press conference?
That just changed it. That's out of pocket. It's your phone. What you so mad about? It's your phone. Put it on vibrate or something. Yeah, dude. I thought it was somebody else's phone.
It was his phone.
Man, how you gonna get mad? How you gonna get mad and get awkward with everybody because your phone went off? Now, that's out of pocket. Now that's out of pocket. I thought that was somebody else's phone. I could see.
Nah, he was like, "Here, take his phone, cut it off." Man, you cut it off.
You cut it off.
What the hell, man? All right, staying in the NFC North, man. Jawan Jennings, new Viking, is excited about being on the Vikings. Maybe too excited. Let's hear what he has to say.
That's awesome. I feel like Kevin.
Let's listen. These cats.
How good of a spot is this for you, Phil Watch? Oh, it's awesome. I feel like Kevin Durant, the Warriors. Why do you say that? Because big three, man. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of talent over here. It's just top down, head to bottom, a lot of talent. How good of a spot is this for you, Phil? Watch. Oh, it's awesome. I feel like Kevin Durant, the Warriors.
All right. Kevin Durant with the Warriors. So, I guess Jennings, Jefferson, and Addison, who he's referring to, hey, he feeling like he's adding the championship missing piece. That's what that reference is saying. When you saying you feel like Kevin Durant on the Warriors, Jawan Jennings here, man. On the money or out of pocket with that statement. What y'all think?
I think he's out of pocket, but he could be on the money.
That's a tough team, though, bro.
Yeah, because Justin Jefferson and Addison could damn sure be Clay and Curry. And he could be that final piece. The only thing that I think they're going to be missing is the speed element, losing Naylor. He doesn't have that same speed element that Naylor brought. But if it could be more of a possession team and actually grind you out and then let that defense find you out, you get a little tough over there.
Yeah,
back to this and be like, you know what, he was right. Nobody expected the Seahawks to win it last year. So,
facts, bro.
I don't know. He could be.
It's gonna be tough. All right, man. Buffalo Bills receivers. They got a new challenge. And let's take a look at what they're doing here. Watermelon challenge.
You already know the vibes. What's up, y'all? Snow TV, Snow Motorsports Edition.
So they're oiling up these watermelons, trying to catch them.
Yes. You ever seen anybody do this before? There you go. There you go.
Oh.
All you gotta do is catch it. Come on. Oh! Three. Oh!
Catch it.
You ever use it?
Hey, yo.
Hey, bro.
The watermelon challenge. I want to see this guy right here.
Oh! I thought I had that.
He got his flip flops.
All you gotta do is catch it.
Watermelon challenge, man. On the money, out of pocket. What y'all think about that?
I think it's a fun challenge, but man, if that thing slip wrong and hit you in the wrong spot, you gonna say, "Oh, for real?" Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's damn near impossible. Why would I click and then you put
ain't none of them catch it.
Yeah, that's down there impossible.
Man. All right, man. A couple more, man. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, of course, you know, dealing with his injury or whatever, you know, he's got his 4-year, $188 million contract. But apparently, him's mama pays the bills. Micah Parsons' mom pays his phone and Netflix bill. On the money, out of pocket, making your mama pay your streaming bills.
I just think if he's making her do it, it's out of pocket. But I just think it's something that they never changed since he has made it into the league. He's always been on her plan and whatever. So I'm quite sure.
Mama's boy.
I'm quite sure he's getting the money.
That's what that tells me. Him's a mama's boy.
I mean, maybe that's why he acts the way he acts sometimes. But I'm quite sure the mom is giving her money and she's just paying the bill out the money that he's giving her. So it's not a big deal. I mean, like you said, it keeps you regular, you know. But as far as him, I don't want nobody I'm affiliated with hanging with that dude. Like, he's too messy, bro. He's like a messy individual, bro.
He's a child, bro. He's childish, man. That's why his mama paying this bill. You could tell, you see his energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? He like making jokes. He like kidding around. I know Micah Parsons' character, man. I don't know him personally, but I know his character, man. He's just one of those dudes he talk all that shit and puff his chest out, joke, laugh, and try to be, you know, sneaky and devious and all that shit. But then at the end of the day, he go home to his mama and he turns into a little boy.
Yeah.
But
you had that cat at your own leisure, man.
Yeah, man. Last one, man, and this is pretty crazy, man. Shout out to my brother Cave, man. With the Knicks game, I know there's a lot of Knicks energy out here today, man. But so last one here, this had to make on the money out of pocket. What in God's green earth is this motherfucker right here thinking? In an NBA Finals game, you decide you need to take a picture with Wembanyama.
Nick Lee, a fan just ran on the floor, wants to take a selfie. Security quickly takes him away. Crowd gives him the appropriate boo. Forced to referee that as well. You saw the security guard in pursuit. Mitchell Robinson like, what's this dude doing? Scott Forster, you're going to come over and explain it to us. Nick Lee.
No. What I'm mad about here is the handling of the perpetrator. I would have picked his ass up. I'd have took his phone. Like, yo, he would have got clobbered, bro. You're not just escort him off nicely. Get your motherfucker. If you don't get the hell up out of here.
Yeah, I thought Big Dude was for a suplex.
That's what I thought, man. He should have got a suplex right there, bro. Yeah, this shit is fucking way out of fucking pocket, bro.
How did he get on the court?
He ran. Ain't no gates right there. You see how this stadium set up? He just jumped and ran on the fucking court like a dumbass.
Yeah, I know he's been banned for life, so
yeah, he been banned for life. But again, you should have got the hands put on you. But like, if one of us do that, bro, they gonna take you to back. Do that again, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Turn your ass up back there.
So, but yeah, man, this motherfucker right here, man. Yeah, you out of pocket
for that shit.
Right.
Way out of pocket.
Look, one of them players didn't steal off on him. Mitchell
if the right one was out there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kevin Garnett or Ben Wallace or Ron Artest, if somebody was out there.
No, they would have killed him. Ben Wallace, Artest was scared of Ben Wallace. That tells you how
much of a
monster he was. If you would have hit him, he would have died.
Yo, dead ass, bro. But yeah, man. That's all I got, man, for on the money out of pocket, man. And we out of here with this.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket.
All right, man. That's the show. That is the show for today. Mini camps. Following week. Giants mini camps. 8. Yeah, it's this week. So mini camps are this week. So they start tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow. Today's 7th. So Tomorrow, mini camps will be going on. We'll give you a show next week, recapping everything. If any news or notes, anything comes out, probably be a little short, condensed show. And then we're going to take our summer break right along with the New York Giants and be back here rolling for training camp. So that is the plan for the show. So if you guys are tuned in, just know we'll be taking a little break after next week's show, and we will be hitting it hard from training camp all the way through the season, man. Got some special things planned for this season. So we'll be rolling those out, like I said, once we come back for training camp. But appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody watching on the replay. Again, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to Unpopular Opinion Sports, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network and Big Pat Sports Talk. We're doing our thing over here, man. So please hit that button. Please support the show if you don't mind. It's it don't cost nothing. So, and we won't bug you with spam and all that shit yeah, you subscribe to something, and all of a sudden you're getting all this mail coming out, and like, what is this? I might have to do a segment of like shit that get on your nerves. It's like, why is that shit, yo? But this has been Giants Conversation. I'm your host, NYG Double Deuce, aka Unpopular Opinion Sports, with my co-host Big Pat Sports Talk, the dynamic dude, giving you Giants content, best Giants morning show on YouTube, and we're gonna be bringing the fire this year, man. So, but that's all I got, man. Go ahead, man. Take us out, Pat. Wrap it up.
All right, this has been
Blaze.
Giants
What's good?
Convo. What's going on, Blaze? This has been Giants Convo, where we come to have a conversation about our New York Giants. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next week, last show before we take a break. I don't know what time it is, man. Peace.
Peace.